Welcome to the Hump Day podcast. I'm your host, Gary Lamkin. It's not really a host, not really a show. It's a podcast. Anyway, so it's the 21st of May. I'm not going to even start that over. Fuck it, I'm going to sound stupid. 21st of May, and I have a guest with me again this week. Another special guest. He wears a helmet. Mr. Greg King. How you doing, Greg?
Good.
Fellow comedian. We first met 5 years ago when I first started.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe I first started then too. I'm older than you, and I was in a comedy troupe and done a lot of different things. But I don't know if I'd started doing stand up before you, it would have been a little bit after, not much.
What year? 2009.
Yeah, that would have been about it. Yeah,
that's when I did
2009. Yeah,
when I did my first. You were no, hold on. The very first night I went on, it was the 40 Great Canadian Laugh-Off. Were you in that year?
I was. You actually beat me out in that.
No, it was 2 years later.
That was 2 years later. So even 2
No,
years.
it was Funniest Newfoundlander. That was in the Laugh-Off.
I was in the Laugh-Off too. Laugh-Off actually was my first time on stage.
That was my first time on stage.
So we did start the exact same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went over. I didn't see a light at all. Yeah, I didn't. I must have went like double my time. And I was like, they'll never let me on stage again because that's a big faux pas, right?
Yeah. Well, especially when you're getting judged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody's constantly judging you.
Who was on? Do you remember who was on the night that you were on?
God, it's such a blur. I think some of them don't even do comedy anymore.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. Yeah.
People moved away. Yeah. The whole scene keeps changing. You know.
I had to be in the first three. I was 16, so I had to be in the first three. And then I had to leave. This is when Bill Mack...
Yes, I think I remember you.
This is when Bill Mack ran.
We didn't talk to you. Yeah.
Well, I was too young.
Kid.
But I remember... who was on air? Rebecca Lash.
Who?
Exactly. Rebecca Lash. She was beautiful, and she was funny, and she left. She's in Toronto now.
Is she still doing it?
I don't think. I think she just stopped. James McLeod.
She's beautiful, see? She didn't have to.
Yeah, she needs to get a dick. James McLeod, you know James?
What?
You know James?
We'll let that go, whatever you just said.
Oh.
That sexist remark.
She can get a dick.
Yeah. Yeah, like, that's all that matters. I can get a dick, man. Like, jeez.
James McLeod, you know James?
I think I do.
He's a writer for the Telegram.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did stand-up.
And he gave up.
He gave up. He was funny.
Why'd he give up?
I don't know. He just stopped.
Too bad we can't get him on the line or something. Call him up. Say, hey, man.
I don't got his number. I would do that too. I put him on speaker, but I don't have his number.
Too bad.
But I had to follow. It was in this order because I had to leave. I don't know who.
God, you got such a good memory about this. All I remember is I went over and felt like...
Oh, man, I was wired.
I felt like a douche.
I wasn't even nervous. Like, I was this was back when Yucks had a green room. Back when it was a good club.
Yucks is a good club.
Oh, fuck you, no, son. So I was sitting down in the green room.
We're not going to get along at all, are we? We disagreed on the club. We disagreed about dicks.
We'll come back to dicks.
Yeah.
But I was sitting in the green room. And
comics. Of course we're going to come back.
Male comics.
Yeah, male comics. What else are we going to talk about?
I wasn't even nervous, man. I was just like, I don't think I was thinking about the moment of it. I was like, let's do it. I want to get up. Like, I was just so...
You had the youth in you, see? I didn't. I had, this is my last chance. I need to nail this. And I didn't. But later on, I found out that it didn't matter. Like, you know, I got better. Because that's the thing. That's a trick to stand up. And we can both vouch for that.
Yeah.
The only way you're going to get better at stand up or figure it out is you got to do it. Mm-hmm. The only way you're going to find out something's funny is to get up and say it. You can sit home, rehearse it. You can write it, rewrite it, re-rehearse it. Do whatever you want with
live
it.
Audience.
You're not going to know until you get up and say it.
But
and the more you get up and say something, the more you do it, the better comic you become. Sorry, I'm cutting you off.
No, it's fine, man. Do you have any...
Welcome to the Greg King Show. My guest this evening. What's your name?
Dix.
Oh, yeah, Dick.
It was Lisa Baker. She was first.
Wow, Lisa's great.
So this is the order I went in, because I had to leave right after I got my thing. Lisa was on first.
Oh, man.
And then it was John Sheehan. And then
way.
And then it was me. That's how it went. That's my first time ever on stage. I followed Lisa and then John Sheehan.
Ah, man.
I didn't advance.
You headlined.
Safe to say, I didn't advance. Yeah. Lisa was MC and John opened for me. Yeah. And I went up and I did my shitty jokes and I called someone fat in the back of the room.
Oh, no.
And I forgot punchlines. And
of course you did.
I got off. I had a McDonald's joke. Like, if I still have every joke that I wrote.
What's that, like Well, I just wrote a McDonald's joke. This sucks. I thought I was like very excited about.
I just go McDonald's. Hey, what's the deal? What's the deal with McDonald's?
Yeah.
I just do a Seinfeld bit. What's the deal? I have every joke I ever wrote still home, and I go back and I've looked at the McDonald's bit. I looked at the McDonald's bit. I'm like, what the fuck? That is not funny. I remember just saying like a bit of it was. I can't remember how it got to this, but like I was like, yeah, like you're gonna see Ronald McDonald in an alleyway. He's gonna go, "Hey kids, you want to touch my McNuggets?" Like,
okay, it's grade 5 funny.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
It was horrible. Even now, I'm like, oh my god, what the hell? And I forgot a punchline to that shitty joke, so it made it even more shit.
You forgot to add that it was in an alleyway or that it was Ronald McDonald.
Basically, I just became a spokesman for McDonald's. I didn't even make fun of it. I was like, hey, who likes McDonald's? And someone in the back went, woo! And I was like, oh, we got some fat people in the back. And I was like, what?
Want to touch my McNuggets?
I got it. My first heckler was that bit.
Oh, what'd they say?
He was right in front. Old man. Right in front.
Old man.
Old man.
Yeah,
old man. He was right in front, and he was old because he kept doing this. He kept looking up at me and going, "You're too young to be saying that. You're too young to be saying that." Like, that's all he would say. He would look up. He was the first table. That was him, and his old shitty wife was sitting across from him.
Okay, leave his wife out of it, please.
Was sitting across from him, and he had a hat on. And I remember my response, because, first time on stage, first time I had a heckle, my response was to take his hat. And so I took his hat, and I said something, I had a laugh. I took his hat, and then he was like, "Give me that hat back." And so I gave him the hat, and then I said, it's like, "Oh, your wife has a nice smile." And she's like, "Thanks." I was like, "Are those teeth real?" Like, I just like...
This is true.
Yes, completely.
It sounds all right.
100% true.
But you bombed because what it is
I didn't do well.
You didn't get the audience liking you.
No.
That's the trick to insulting somebody on stage when you're a comic is. And I don't do this a lot. I don't insult people a lot because an audience can turn on you really fast.
Yes, it can.
Yeah.
And then you're fucked.
Yeah, you got to let the audience let you know that you should make fun of that person. You just can't start making fun of people.
Well, fuck, he was heckling me. I was like, "Fuck you, buddy. I'm 16. I don't need your shit. I'm going to take your hat and make fun of your wife's teeth."
Yeah.
That was my response to that.
Yeah. Well, I guess if that situation ever happens again, you're ready.
No, now it would be totally different. I'd kick him right in the head, no. But I would handle it different. But yeah, that was my first... Do you remember any jokes you did that set?
Some I think I might still do.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Well, I've been a comedian. Like, I was for a while. So when I got into doing stand-up, I kind of knew what the topics were I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
But yes, there are jokes that I don't do, but I've just kind of forgotten about them. I can't really remember anything right now. And of course, the jokes have evolved into better jokes. Whereas they might have all been sentences. I think I just got up and said a pile of sentences.
Statements.
Yeah. Like, here's a joke about forks. Here's a joke about skunks. Here's a joke about, whatever.
Yeah. You don't keep your material?
You should have heard my fork skunk joke. It awesome. Was killer.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It didn't stink.
Old guy in the front row and his beautiful wife, I tell you. Yeah, they love that fork skunk joke.
Do you keep your material?
Do I keep it?
Yeah, because 5 years ago, I don't use any of that stuff anymore, but I still have it.
It's hard for me to lose my material because I rewrite it all the time.
Oh, okay. You're just constantly working on it.
It ends up becoming like a page of one words. If I've got a bit on, we'll keep using the reference of fork or skunk. Whereas before, fork might have been 2 pages of writing of everything I could think of that was funny about a fork or anything about a fork. Mm-hmm. Then I kept that, but it constantly kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller to the point where it would just be a word on the page. Oh, yeah, that's my fork bit.
Yeah, just like a little tag or something.
It's just a tag.
Yeah.
But I throw out a lot of it because I know it. It's in my head now. So once I know what I'm going to say, I don't really need it anymore. And I find that's the joy of stand-up for me now is that I'm getting up on stage and I'm really not relying on saying something a certain way. I just kind of getting up and talking about this topic that I've thought about.
Yeah.
Because if you ever want to have a conversation about forks, you come talk to Greg King, man. He'll tell you about forks from different countries. Yeah,
different shades of spork.
Yeah, there's different colors.
Oh, I just blanked completely what I was going to say. Fuck.
Well, It's a very serious topic I'm talking about here.
Forks. Yeah.
Well, if you want to.
Fuck,
I'm your man.
I completely forget. Oh, I used to write bits, like, because, I started at 16, so I was still in school. I used to write bits in class. Like, if we write notes, I'd be in the back of my book just scribbling out a bit about Hummers or about haircuts.
Like the vehicle, you mean?
Yeah. No, not a blowjob, but never mind. I was going to ask why it's called Hummer tonight, and my mind's like, here's why, and I figured it out by myself.
Big boy.
Big boy. I'm a big kid now. Yeah. But, no, I still have all that. I still have every joke that I wrote, because I used to write it out, and I switched over to the computer, and then I'm back to writing it out again. But I don't like, I remember what I was going to say. Here it is. It's not going to be that good, and it wasn't even that big build up for nothing, Greg. I used to
build up for nothing.
Yeah, I used to.
Yeah, I'm just translating because that was really fast.
Big build up for them.
And I'm from Outport, Newfoundland, so
I used to write it like a script, like word for word, and I would memorize it like a script. And so
I did as well. It's my theater background.
Same.
And it doesn't work.
No, because you forget a word and like shit. I don't know what's next.
Yeah, and it forks you up.
It forks you to fork up.
I tell you, and that's where I've gotten away from that now. It's not saying that certain lines don't come out the same every time, because maybe that sentence just sounds cool.
Yeah.
But really, you just got to get up and talk about the topic, and you got your jokes, and you got to kind of get them in there.
Yeah.
I've been trying to talk to the audience more too, and like make them interact with me. And a lot of times, my material will come up through those conversations.
Well, I love that. I love when you're. I don't like.
You'd be surprised how much people want to talk about forks, like out of the blue.
I know.
They'll be like, "Say something about forks."
Come on, talk about forks. Talk about utensils. Oh Jesus Christ! I'm spacing out, man. I got all.
What's your language, man? Sunday.
God, I'm sorry, man.
You're like my son here now.
I forget.
When you gonna get a job?
I forget. This is the second time in 5 minutes I forgot what I was going to say. Something about scripts. Something about forgetting lines. Yeah. I don't know. But that's basically why I stopped doing it, because I would forget a word and it would completely fool me up. Like I don't know where to go now because I don't know how to get there.
Yeah, then that bit is over and you got to go on to a new thing.
Exactly. Stop cold and go. Hey, what about this though? What about this? Let me talk about this now. Even though I didn't finish the bit I just spoke about.
Now, it's not bad to have routines that are rehearsed, because if you're going to do television and audience participation is not really something that you should be concerned about.
Well, we're both doing the Sirius XM thing, which is May 28th on a Wednesday. $5 come see us. Me and Grace going to be in it along with 10 other people.
Yes, that's right.
I'm not sure 10 there. I know that Steve Coombs made it. I was talking to him on the phone the other day.
Okay, cool. I was wondering myself. I know Adam. I saw a few Facebook.
Luke.
Luke's in,
Luke got in, but that's about it. I don't know. I don't know if Brian applied or John.
I don't think so.
Brian was in it last year, or the year before.
Yeah, so maybe he didn't bother her.
And I'm not sure about John. I don't really hear a lot from John anymore.
Well, John Sheen's very busy.
Well, he's pretty big anyway.
So a contest may not.
Yeah.
He may not have had that night off.
Yeah.
Because he's very busy.
But it's 12 of us.
12 of us, yeah.
5-minute set.
Yeah.
I bring this up because you just said it's good to have tight sets, and for this particular thing, it's great because you have to do 5 minutes. And it's a competition, so I can't go over. You can't really be under.
I'm very nervous. I'm not a big fan of competition.
Especially with stand-up, because it's so subjective, right? It's like, one person could find something hilarious, and then you can say, the other person can be like, no, I don't find that funny at all. Like Louis C.K. It's like some people, I love Louis C.K., but there are people that's like, I don't get Louis. You know what I mean?
Don't get him. Yeah, I don't want to know those people. But.
Yeah, like Dane Cook. Perfect example. People's like, you ought to hate Dane Cook, or
I'm not a big fan.
I like him. He got me. This who got me to stand up.
Really?
That's who got me to start doing stand up. Yeah.
I'm not going to get on a whole Dane Cook, what I don't like about him.
He's not going to listen to this.
Well, I don't care if he did. Does. Like, I'm not going to flatter the man either. So, it's just, it's not my thing.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think I'm older than Dane Cook, actually, come to think of it. So maybe that has something to do with it.
Dane Cook, how old is Dane Cook? 40?
He's not 40.
He is.
Well, then that's why I have a problem with him. He doesn't act like a 40-year-old. That's the problem.
Let me see
that's why I don't like him.
Let me see how old. I can find out right now.
Okay, we're taking a little Google break here.
He is 42.
Oh man,
He's older
needs
than
to
you.
Act older.
He's older than you.
He is, yeah.
He's 42 years old.
And I thought I was old.
Yeah, man. He's been around for a while.
Wow, too long. Obviously,
he doesn't seem that old though. You know what I mean? Like when you look at him, I guess I
guess it's the ball hat or something. He
doesn't look 42 years old. I mean, Louis 40.
Talking about waking his girlfriend up at 40 years old. Like, what is?
What now?
Shouldn't he be making like kid jokes and?
Oh yeah,
like you know the problem with mortgage payments.
No, but he's like, one night stand.
Yeah, what are you talking about? I guess that's why he hits up the university scene so much.
Just his dates. He's looking for dates.
It's too bad, what happened to him. I don't know if you know.
The Louis C.K. thing? He got accused for stealing bits.
Did he?
You didn't know about that?
That's not the thing I was talking about.
Oh, what were you talking about?
I didn't know. Tell me more, Gossip Pound. Is that a thing? Gossip Pound? Did I make that up?
Probably. You coined it now.
I coined it. Gossip Pound.
Well, do you watch Louis at all? His show?
Yes, I do. Yeah, but I haven't seen this season.
Well, do you see the first season?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Remember Dane Cook on it?
No, I don't.
They had an episode where Dane Cook was in. Louis C.K. went to go see Dane Cook about getting tickets. He wanted tickets for his little girl for Lady Gaga or something, and he knew Dane Cook could hook him up. And so I went to one of Dane's stadium shows, and in the back, and Dane was like, "I'm not going to give you tickets unless you tell people right now that I didn't steal from you." Like Louis made an episode out of it. But that scene felt real. Like, it did not feel like an episode. Because Dane Cook got accused a couple of years ago.
Who accused him?
Other comics.
Of stealing Louis C.K.'s...
Yeah, and kind of Louis. Like, Louis didn't come out and say he didn't. He didn't.
But did he?
I've heard the back-to-backs, which, I mean, you could say he maybe stole it, but, I mean, it's two different takes. On it's three little jokes. One's about an itchy asshole. How could you steal that? You know what I mean? I mean, everyone has an itchy asshole. You stole that. I was the first person ever to have an itchy asshole.
Yeah, that's what I'm known for, that joke.
Yeah, like Louis did that, and then Dane Cook did it, and then Louis did one about what he would name his kids. Like, he would just name, like a bunch of Fs, like, get in the kitchen, and Dane Cook did one about how he would name his kids after Optimus Prime characters, like Transformers or whatever. And another one was...
stealing.
And another one was... Louis C.K.
God, I've stolen so many jokes off people.
Louis C.K. seeing someone get hit by a car, and the punchline was something like, he didn't have enough time to say, you're about to get hit by a vehicle. So Louis just went, bad thing. And Dane Cook had a joke, same thing. And Dane Cook was like, I didn't have time to say you're about to get struck by a vehicle. As this one of Dane Cook's most famous bits. And so instead, Dane goes... just yells. Like that's the three bits that he apparently stole.
That one's a bit...
That's pretty similar.
That's a bit iffy.
But the other two, it's like the itchy asshole one is about 20 seconds long. It's like a throwaway. Like, why would you steal it? Why would you steal that? Oh, I'm going to ruin my career now and do a 20-second bit on itchy asshole.
I got to steal that bit.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean...
So, hold on. So, he didn't steal the bit? He did or he didn't?
There hasn't been a verdict.
Oh, okay. So it's still in court.
It's still up to a lot of comics.
Well, I hope he goes to jail for this. Yeah,
itchy assholes. Yeah. A lot of comics.
You find a lot of those.
A lot of comics hate him. Like I was talking to Nikki Glaser about Dane. She doesn't know.
Does he come up on this show a lot or what?
No, apparently he does. Fucking Dane Cook.
He's doing something right.
But yeah, no, he's pretty hated, man.
Well, I was talking about the fact that he lost so much money that his
half brother.
Yeah, his half brother took his money on him or whatever. Or maybe that's...
No, that wouldn't hurt him.
No, but maybe that's not true. No,
that's true. His brother did do that.
Is it really his half brother?
Well, don't know us with that. Yeah, but he does steal a lot of money from Dane. But Dane's rich.
Yeah, but how rich now? Like Nick Cage was rich too, but he lost a lot of money too in real estate or something, didn't he?
I don't know. Nick Cage sucks.
I think so. You don't care about Nick Cage at all.
He sucks. Do you like Nick Cage?
No, I can't say I was ever a fan.
Yeah.
There's been probably no movies that he's done that
maybe Con Air
that I've read. Con Air? Are you serious?
That's okay.
Man?
It's one of his.
Put the bunny down or whatever that line. I laughed so hard at that movie. It's not a comedy.
You know what's the worst one I think he's done recently? Is Ghost Riders. The Ghost Rider movies.
I'm going to cry if we continue to talk about his portrayal of Ghost Rider.
Dude, that was so bad.
It was so bad.
Did you see the newest one?
I don't want to talk about it.
I'm going to tell you about it. He's Ghost Rider in this scene.
Well, I hope so.
He's fighting.
He's trying at least.
Yeah,
he's trying to be.
Just called like it's CGI or whatever. Yeah. He's fighting someone on a truck or whatever, and he flicks him off the truck, and then the car behind him runs the guy over. And so the camera goes to the back of Ghost Rider's head, and you see him turn around, and he goes, roadkill.
Oh.
And I was like, oh my God.
What is this? Like,
me and my buddy made that like an inside joke for months.
Oh, like it's like cheesy Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5.
Roadkill.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my Jesus, why? Yeah, he's not good.
I've got a problem with the Marvel movies in general. Some of them have been done really poorly.
Like Daredevil?
Ghost Rider. Daredevil was very bad.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Fantastic Four was very bad.
Very kiddish. Yeah, could have had more, like the Silver Surfer one especially. I
don't even mind kiddish, sure. I like Disney movies. It's just how they're directed and who's in them.
Yeah.
Bad casting. Bad casting.
Bad movies, man.
And I love Stan Lee.
Stan Lee. Oh, yeah. Well, Spider-Man, I like the Spider-Man ones and Batman ones.
The Spider-Man ones were good, except for the third one. What happened?
Oh, Tobey Maguire?
That
was garbage.
It was garbage. The third one was garbage.
He went emo for a movie.
I don't know what happened. I just don't know. There was a dance thing, and
yeah,
I like Sam Raimi too. Like, he's the guy who did the Evil Dead movies, right? And
yeah.
He was a great director, and that scene in the second Spider-Man movie where Doc Ock comes back to life, and it's all from the views of the cameras on the actual octopus limbs and stuff. It's very horror movie. But the second one is very good. I thought that sequel, it's better than the first one.
The third one was garbage.
The second one, because I like that whole thing about Peter Parker and the sad life he lived, and that he's a young boy and he needs a job.
Yeah.
And he needs to get good grades.
Yeah.
I love that about Spider-Man. That's what made that superhero so popular. It's the fact that all the superheroes were this or that and the other thing, but all of a sudden there was this teenage boy, this nerd, who gets these superpowers, and he can't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Like, that's huge, right? Well, that's interesting.
When it's done well.
It's done very well. When it's done well. I like the new one. The new one's good. I haven't seen the second installment of that
I haven't seen it either, but the first one was good.
I've heard both reactions.
I don't know.
I've heard good and bad.
I don't think you can top that. But the first Spider-Man 3.
You won't get as bad as that.
That was really
bad,
I was so disappointed.
It was really bad.
Yeah. Sandman? Why the fuck? Who wants to see him?
Sandman.
That sucks, Sandman, and they had Venom. Venom should have been the main guy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was that could be a whole movie itself. Why they did that, I don't know. And what about... I mean, I always wanted to... I don't know if you're familiar with Spider-Man, but do you know about Carnage?
Yes.
That's a very interesting character, too.
He is.
He's psychotic, right?
Yeah.
So it's the idea of, like, taking this... like, Venom is Eddie Brock, who's supposed to have just this hatred for Spider-Man because it's more of a... what it is he hates Peter Parker.
Yeah.
And he finds out Peter Parker is Spider-Man. And blah, blah, blah.
And tries to kill him.
But when Eddie Brock was put in jail, he escaped, and a piece of the symbiote fell on this other guy. I got his name forgot now. It's been so long since I read the comic. It falls on this psychotic guy that was just about to kill Eddie Brock. So stab him in the prison. It's true.
I didn't read the comics, but I know.
Look it up on Wikipedia. Is all, like, if it is accurate. But that's what happens in the comic. Then, 20-odd issues later... this Carnage character shows up. Now, since then, I believe there have been a billion symbiotes. Like, there's all different ones. Like, I think. Because I kind of stopped reading after that.
Yeah, no, Carnage is the... I know Carnage. He's that'd be a cool...
He's psychotic. In the comic book, he's going to escape. So what he does is he picks up a baby and throws it out the window. So Spider-Man jumps out the window, of course, saves the baby. But he gets away.
Yeah.
That's what he did. He picked up a child, a baby, an infant, throws it out the window.
Roadkill.
Yeah. Shocking. But good callback.
But, I don't know, man. Like, just for the fact that they had Venom splitting the screen time. Not even splitting it. Like, Sandman got way more screen time than Venom.
I don't know. It didn't make any sense. It didn't.
Like, all Venom had was the last scene when they were fighting him in the whatever the fuck
they
place.
Do that with stuff, eh? Like, one villain's not enough. We've got to throw 2 or 3
Well, same with the new one. It has Electro and Rhino.
2.
2.
Now, why don't they just do 6 movies and then have the Sinister
And the Hobgoblin. The Hobgoblin's in it, too.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
It's too much. Too much to follow.
Yeah, 3 of them. I guess, I don't know. Yeah, and you always pick, like, the same ones. The Hobgoblin's always in there.
Well, Goblin and Green Goblin and Hobgoblin aren't the same character.
Yeah, no, Hobgoblin's his son.
Listen, man, if you want to talk about Spider-Man or forks, I'm your man.
I know Spider-Man. I know Batman more.
You like The Dark Knight.
I love Batman, yeah.
Batman's good, too.
He's like,
I don't know so much about it, but a friend of mine was a huge Batman.
Did you like the movies?
He was a huge, he was one of those fanatic guys. Like, I walked into his room when we were, first, I met him, and I walked into his room, and half his room was Smashing Pumpkins stuff, and the other half was Batman stuff. And I'm not like that. Like, I can like something. I might have all their albums but one.
Yeah.
But I don't have everything. I'm not like that. My brother's kind of a collector.
Obsessive.
Of stuff. But yeah, it's a personality thing, right? I'm just not like that. I wouldn't be able to
I'm a huge Elvis fan. But
is your whole house peppered in Elvis stuff?
No, I got 2-3 pictures up in my room.
But
I don't have it's.
Well, I knew a guy who liked Elvis so much, his whole bar downstairs is Elvis stuff. You were drinking out of Elvis glasses and playing Elvis cards and eating Elvis chips and it was weird.
I have a lot of that stuff, but it's not. I don't put it out. You know what I mean?
You don't want people to know.
Well, yeah, it's it's in I have a lot of it, so I can just put it all in one room. Hey, look, I'm a freak. Look at my shit. Yeah.
I've got Elvis in my basement.
Yeah, he's not dead. He's in my basement. He does show us to me twice a week. He's brittle and old. I give him milk and cookies.
Oh, that's what brittle and old Elvis is like.
Man, so many people. That was such a, and it still is. That's such a big thing. I mean, he's alive, man. No, seriously, he's alive. I seen him at a gas station. Really? Dude, he'd be 72.
Who else did you see at the gas station?
Yeah, there's so many stories of sightings of Elvis. And there's so many, you do conspiracy theories at all?
I know some, yeah.
Whether it's government or
I know a lot about lots of things, so just start talking about it.
But because Graceland, Elvis's house, the top is closed off, the upstairs.
Yeah,
and you're not allowed to go up there because that's just where his room is.
That's his room, yeah.
But people's you know what? It's closed off, man. He's up there, man.
He's hanging out.
They bring up frozen Hungry Man. They bring up frozen Hungry Man dinners. He's alive. He's up there chilling. I seen him in the window. Yeah. It's so many stories. It's oh, look at this shadow. There's a woman who she got out of the shower one time, and you know how the mirror gets steamed up. Well, she got out of the shower and she took a picture and posted. Look, Elvis' face in my mirror. He's alive. He's a ghost. He's entrapped in my mirror.
She's just taking a selfie, and he just happened to be
just
there.
Just the steam, just the way the steam got on the mirror from the shower. It formed an Elvis face.
Yeah,
and she's trapped in my mirror.
I'm sure there's an Elvis cloud floating around somewhere too, right? So.
People, man, just when they love something so much,
they don't want him to die, right?
Yeah, they can't let it go.
Yeah.
But I mean,
maybe he is alive.
Maybe he's alive. That'd be really cool.
If he is, he's not listening to this podcast.
Oh, they know him, baby. They're not gonna kill him. Oh, shit.
They're on to me.
I gotta move. I want my new plan.
Yeah.
I do think he's. I think if he was alive, he'd still be performing. Even at his age, just 71.
I don't know.
I think he would.
Pretty.
But I think, if he got over that, if people helped him get through it, and he got off the drugs, I think he would be still rocking.
Great singer.
Great singer. My favorite singer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
I love Elvis since grade 3, man. I got picked on in school for liking Elvis.
Did you?
Yeah, when I was a kid.
Why people bullied you?
No, grade 3. Well, I was talking about this in Nikki Gleason.
It's great. People bullied me because I was short.
I got picked on because of that and because of the Chinese thing.
What's the Chinese thing, man? I don't know.
I'm not Chinese. I'm 1/8 Chinese, but
definitely yes. You're at least 1/8.
My grandfather, my great grandfather, came from. He's one of the first Chinese men to come from China back in the day, and so every man since him though married white women. Like my dad's a quarter, my grandfather was half. My great grandfather
all married white women.
Yeah, so the gene just kind of.
So they don't talk about you guys in China.
So 1/8. Well, no, I have family in China.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but I never met them. I have cousins and shit in China that I've never met. Fully Chinese relatives.
Yeah.
But people knew that because my dad, he got picked on for it, and my sister, she's a couple years older than me, she got picked on. And when I came up, it got passed down to me.
Why would they pick on you because of that?
Racist stuff, man.
Yeah, I know.
Racial slurs.
That blows my mind.
Yeah, racial slurs.
There must have been someone that looked more Chinese than you. If people were making fun of Chinese people, there must have been someone in your school that looked more Chinese than you because you look nothing.
I know,
like a Chinese
but there's
person
no
at
Chinese
all.
people in my. I'm from Shea Heights. There's no Chinese people up there.
Oh, you're from Shea Heights?
Yeah, I went to school up there.
Wow, I never would have guessed you were from Shea. I guess you know what? I shouldn't assume that people are from.
Well, I'm not a skeet.
No, but it's not. See, once again, you are the representation of the fact that Shea Heights is misinterpreted, right?
Well, man, listen, how many people I say that to them? You're not from Shea Heights.
I know. I don't know. I don't know why I said that, and I feel bad for saying.
It's great, but because people, I've actually had people who say that and have followed up with, "You're not a skeet." Like, you don't talk or dress like it. I'm like, yeah, well, we're not.
I just didn't know Shea Heights had such a huge Chinese population. Because I didn't know that. Right?
It doesn't. We have a little Chinatown. That's where I live.
Little Chinatown. There's one house.
It's me.
It's very little.
Yeah. But, no, like, you know, so, like, racial slurs. I used to get thrown at me. Like, not like little stuff.
Yeah,
like
well, we won't say them. We all know.
I'm not going to say them. But, yeah. So, but then I...
You don't want to lose your podcast funding.
But I wasn't funny when I was a kid. I think like the bullying kind of...
Yeah, it can make you kind of...
Put me...
Makes you think about what you would have said. I would have told them.
Yeah, or like
they would have really beat me up then if I said that.
They would have kicked my ass then. Well, I think it was like you develop humor as a self-defense.
I did.
Yeah.
To compensate for when I was. I mean, I'm not. You see, I say a joke in my stand-up about being average height for a girl, and I am. I'm about 5'6", maybe 5'6.5" on a good day. And that's average height for a girl. But to look at me, I'm not a small guy. You know, some people will say to me, you're not that short. But when I was young, I was. I was a very tiny guy. And I don't know, I grew in high school or junior high to what I am now. And since then, I've gotten bigger from, I don't know, carrying things around or doing yard work, you know, and my arms have gotten bigger, my shoulders are blockier, and I look like a man. You know, I look like a man. No?
But I'm not. I look like a man.
But I'm not a tall guy. And people used to make fun of me about being small, so I would make up jokes about
it. In the moment? Or later on?
Yeah, and I got good at it, reacting to it. I think I had kind of like came up with a few in my head, like if someone ever says this to me, I'll say that. Yeah. And I did that.
Well, I think agreeing helps. You know what I mean? Like someone's like, "Oh, you're short." Like the worst thing you can do is no. Like if they go, "You short?" You go, "Yeah, I am." Like, because what are they going to go to then? You know what I mean? They can't. It's like, "Oh, he said yes." Shit, that's it.
It's so easy as an adult to look at what you would have done.
Yeah.
You know, I had the situation where this guy was bullying me, and it was very, like, it was, if there's a definition of, like, jovial bullying, like, he liked me, but he was just a big guy, and I was a small guy, and I have kind of a chin that protrudes, so when we were, like, grade 9, he one day grabbed me by my chin with his hand and bruised it, like, right around, so you can imagine having a bruise around your chin. He's gripped it really tight. And he did that, and he thought it was hilarious.
What the hell?
So I had to go. I went home once, and then it happened again, and again the third, fourth time it happened. My dad, man, he got really upset, and he said, "Greg, the next time he does that, I give you permission. You hit him back."
Did you?
Well, he went and do it, and I smacked his hand out of the way, and I looked at him and said, "My dad said I could hit you." I don't know. That's what fell out of my mouth.
Did he hit you?
No, he laughed so hard and never did it again, but thought I was one of the funniest guys in the world. And
maybe he thought you were joking.
We became all right friends.
How tall's your dad?
My dad's about, I can see 5'10", and he's a big man, so he never had that problem. My dad never understood, but me and my brother were both bullied, more so because we were a bit different. It started off being a height thing, but when we got older, my brother was long hair and dark black clothes because it was the 90s. I was a punk. My hair was whatever color I wanted it to be, brow piercing. And where I was from, nobody was like that. So a lot of people hated it.
Yeah. Well, because it's different. They don't know what to do.
Their parents hated it, and they hated it, and everybody hated it because it was different.
Well,
it's changed a lot.
When I started to meet friends, around that time, like, someone told me, it's like, my mom's like, because like they came up, come to the house one time, and I remember I had a buddy go, "Oh, he's from Shea Heights, Just sketchy.
So sketchy. Didn't mind the fact that you were 1/8 Chinese. Yeah. It's just the Shea Heights thing.
Yeah, right? It's just like, that's a sketchy place up there.
And what is he?
And it's like, and he's 1/8. God damn it! Yeah. Just like
1/9, I'd accept.
1/8 is too much.
Too much.
It's mathematically too much for me to handle.
I don't know.
But I think every comic as a kid went through some sort of shit.
Totally.
To get where they are.
I just want to say, I think we're all 1/8 everything, so I don't really know what 1/8 Chinese means.
Nothing.
I think I'm 1/8 Chinese, actually. I must be.
It means nothing. You know what I mean? I've actually had girls like, I mean, he's got a small dick. Like, I've actually had girls say that. I'm like, no, 1/8. It's 1/8. It's as big. Yeah. As the dick.
1/8 of my penis is smaller than the other. It's just a section of my penis.
It's like a funnel.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah. The back part is small.
Yeah. No, but I've actually people who say like they totally buy in to the just got 1/8. It's like, oh, no, that means you fit this stereotype, this one. Your house always smells like egg rolls. You always wear Nikes. Like it's.
Those are the stereotypes? I would say like good at math.
No, man, I failed math.
Well, you're not 1/8, are
you? I was 1/8 good at math.
1/8 good at math, yeah.
I was crap at math.
It's funny that we're talking about math and you're using fractions. And
I know, that's all. But that's it. 1/8, that's my only math to talk about.
I guess, there's stereotypes from everywhere. I mean, I'm from the Bay, too, right? From Outport, Newfoundland, and people have assumptions about me, too, because of that. And they'll do the same thing, like, really? You're from...
Yeah.
From Outport, until I actually open my mouth and my accent falls out. And
it's like, I got you. Yeah. No,
And I like people who talk about Newfoundland, and Canada gets it. Oh, cold up there.
Oh, yeah.
When you guys got heat.
Well, Newfoundland gets a lot of shit from the rest of Canada. In itself.
Well, it's because there's always got to be somebody that's being picked on.
Yeah, it's out of Newfoundland and Quebec.
Yeah. Just, I don't know.
Let's change it. Fuck you, Alberta. Let's change it. Alberta stinks. Start a rumor. Let's talk about those bastards.
Now, listen, I don't think they're all...
No, I promise.
Yeah, they're not. You got to stop that.
I guess I have a hatred in me, Greg.
Yeah.
From being bullied.
Because of your...
From a 1/8. I have 1/8 hatred.
Yeah. 1/8 of you is angry.
My heart is 1/8 black. Just cold heart. But no, I think if we sat down, or with every comic, let's go with here, just locally, they would have some sort of, this happened to me when I was a kid, and this what I think led to my stand up.
Or they were the bully making the jokes.
Or they were that. I don't know.
I doubt it. Yeah. But it could be. It could be something there. Yeah, we're all bullied too in a way. I always looked at the bully when I was growing up. Maybe it's because I was smart enough to know it. Like. I was like, well, that bully is being bullied at home. And that's sadder than anything.
That could be it. That could be passed down.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least my mom and dad didn't bully me much.
It's my turn to smack them around. Step aside.
Yeah.
That's when we just talked that to a corner.
Yeah, we did.
But no, I think, do you believe that for order of good comedy to happen, you had to have something, you had to be in a bad state? Like, do you believe that? Because that's a stereotype of comedy. Or like you had to be depressed, you had to be sad to have good humor.
I don't know.
To write good stuff.
I guess so. I don't really know. I can say, hey, I wrote comedy, or I write comedy because of some sadness I've experienced or things like that. But I'm also like, I've had a lot of good times. And I keep trying to remember those because there's such a focus on sad stuff these days.
Yeah.
Everybody's diagnosed with this and that, and we're not people anymore. We're 1/8 this and 1/8 that. Do you know what I mean? And it's human nature.
Yeah.
To categorize and put things like that. That's what we do as humans. We can't just say we're people with experiences and,
Yeah. Well, I think bad events definitely play a role in good comedy, but I don't think it's exclusive to good comedy. I think it could help, but I don't think I think you can write jokes without being sad, like without having a sad experience to draw on.
I hope so, because
That being said, like what you just said,
I know. I mean, maybe what you're saying is comedy. Comedy a lot of times is a reaction, a positive or humorous reaction to sadness to cope with it. This is why there's a lot of comedy around that. But I hear a lot of jokes too, and maybe I am a prude, but some stuff I find just, it's too much. And I find that some comics and some people might just, they're trying to make an extreme joke because I don't know why they find it funny, but they think either people will find it funny, and it bothers me more if they find it funny. Well, it's almost like accept it. They're going like, oh, I figured these are the jokes that I got to make people laugh.
Could be shock
I
humor.
always think like dead baby jokes. Yeah, I don't even like talking about those, but they're not funny.
Yeah,
callbacks are funny. Yeah, but that's a timing thing.
Yeah.
But dead baby jokes aren't funny.
Who does
and maybe it's because I have kids too. But have you heard them before?
Who does them?
You've never heard those jokes before?
No.
You can look them up online. They're
like comedians?
Yeah, like, no, it's not a comedian's thing. It's like I'm surprised you never heard. Maybe it was just my sick group of friends that used to tell me.
Dead babies. I mean, I've heard people go, oh, that's like dead baby. Like, I've never heard a joke.
Yeah, there's like jokes written about them. Yeah.
No, I've never heard any of those.
Yeah.
That's dark.
It is dark, yeah. And I never understood why it was funny. I was like, that's not funny. Well, I mean, there's the topics that you don't talk about, right?
I think.
Let's simplify it. Blonde jokes.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, maybe yes, they can be funny, but it's a stereotype, and
I think everything. Everything can be talked about if it's done right.
Goofy jokes. Yeah. They're funny if written very well, and I'll applaud the writing sometimes, but they're typically not that funny. It's more so just like you could replace Newfie with stupid guy.
Did a joke, man.
Stupid guy walked into a bar.
Yeah, and did this.
Right?
I had a book, a Newfie joke book that's, made here, obviously. And there was just one joke in it, and it wasn't really like, it wasn't mean, but it always got me to chuckle. Like, it opened,
well, some of them are very funny.
Yeah, it opened with a Newfoundlander that can't read time asks another Newfoundlander what time it is. And so the guy that can't read time goes to the guy that got to watch, hey, what time is it? And the guy that got to watch goes, oh, it's 3:10. And the other guy who can't read time goes, he looks at his watch and goes, so it is. I don't know. It always got me to laugh. Yeah, always got, because I picture it.
I like the Newfoundland jokes that are like, that stem from. Are you familiar with Jack Tales at all? Like the story of the character named Jack?
No.
And Jack is the
Jack
guy.
and Jill?
Jack's the guy who's not. Maybe. I'm not quite sure, but I'm talking about. If you researched it, looked at it, I'm not an expert here now, but Jack is a character that typically, maybe not rich, maybe not that intelligent or whatever, but in the end, because of skills he has or his natural ability, his charm, tends to overcome situations.
Sounds like Liam Neeson Taken.
Jack and the Giant might be a good example.
That sounds like Liam Neeson and Taken.
Yeah.
He's on the phone. I don't have a lot of skills, but I don't know a lot of money, but what I do have.
Yeah, based on a Jack Tale.
Set of skills that I have acquired over a long period
I'll tell you, man. Ghost Rider, based on a Jack Tale. I'm telling you.
No, I've never heard any of those. I don't know. I'm not.
But there's an example. What it is it's a character that's down and out or whatever. But people try to get the best of him and treat him like whatever. But in the end, he comes on top. Those are the best Newfoundland jokes.
Yeah.
Because they're glorifying a Newfoundlander somewhat. They're stereotypical because they're saying that we're either, I don't know, slow or dirty or whatever, But in the end,
Newfoundland is it's a great place to live. I don't know why it gets such a bad. I think the people that give it a bad rap are the people that have never been here. They hear stuff and like, oh yeah. Like they've never been here and they have this twisted theory of what Newfoundland is. And so the only information they seek about us is the stuff that would justify or harden their theory. You know what I mean? But they actually don't know anything about Newfoundlanders.
I had a joke fly in my head that I heard that I will repeat. It's a Newfoundland joke I heard. And it was this Newfoundlander had to move away and was really sad about it. And before he left to go up to Alberta or whatever, his dad said, well, listen now, he said, you take the boat, the punt, right? And whenever you get homesick or sad, take the boat, find a bit of water, close your eyes, roll around, think of home. You'll feel better. He thought that was great. He's like, Dad, some boys, right? So he takes the boat and he drives on, and he drives and drives and he drives, and he gets so far, and then all of a sudden he stops. He's starting to get homesick, so he pulls out the boat and finds some water and throws in the water and starts paddling around. Closes his eyes. Oh, boy, he felt better, right? Mm-hmm. So he got up the energy again. Then he put the boat back and went on his trip again. So he's about halfway to Alberta, right? He started getting homesick again, getting real sad, right? So he pulls the boat out, throws in the water, starts paddling around, closes his eyes, made him feel better. So he gets up to Alberta, and he's really, really homesick, right? So he's like, goes to get the boat, can't find no water. So he's looking around, he's starting to panic a bit, right? So he sees this, this wheat, right? Like blowing around, kind of looks like waves, right? Back and forth. So he got it in his head, he said, I was willing to. He takes the boat, throws it up on top, starts paddling around, closes his eyes. Probably started to feel better. Now, this other Newfoundlander was driving down the road at the exact same time and saw him doing this. And got savage. Stopped the truck, jumped out, started yelling out to him. Said, my son, stop it! You're making us look like a fool up here. What are you doing? And he was at him. So anyway, upset this other feller in the boat, this other Newfoundlander. So Buddy piped up and said, well, my son, shut up. You leave me alone. I'm out here paddling around. This makes me feel better. And my son, if I could swim, I'd come down there and I'd show you a thing or two. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, long story short, let's end the Newfoundland jokes. Eh? Let's get rid of them completely.
I was going to ask a question earlier. I forgot, but I remember now. Do you like watching comedians when you know, because I think there's a couple types of comedians, and one is the comic who you can tell it's comedy. You know what I mean? Like I like a lot of comics, like Louis C.K. Like where you get lost, like you can't tell he's doing stand up. You just get lost. Yeah, you get lost. Like, oh, this is so real. Like, there's comics that do, I guess one-liners would be part of it, but it's like the jokes, you know what I mean?
I like them both. I like everything.
Who's your favorite comic?
Oh, Greg King. No, I'm kidding. Gary Lamkin.
No.
No. Why not? Why not? I don't know. It's like asking me who my favorite band is.
Okay, okay, not favorite. Who would be in your top 5? Like, give me one of your top 5 comedians.
I honestly think Jim Carrey was a really good stand-up comedian.
Oh, yeah?
Have you ever seen his stand-up?
I have, yeah.
It's very good. And it's clean.
Yeah.
It's wacky.
He's
got a great joke. He's got this one about you can tell how old somebody is by how far back they've got to go to find glory. And he's like, you meet him at the bar, and this guy's like, remember how fast I used to be when I was a sperm? He's like, I can still remember the day of the big race. There were millions of us in the field. Yeah. But I beat them all, mister.
Well,
fertilized that egg.
That's kind of like Steve Martin. Steve Martin had that kind of stand-up, that wacky, have you ever seen any of his?
I have, yeah. I like Steve Martin, too.
Yeah.
Like Bill Cosby.
I don't...
Richard Pryor, I like. Eddie Murphy, I like, but very vulgar. And I was always kind of like, I'm not a prude, like I said, and I don't mind vulgarity, but when you've got to be constantly using it sometimes they just kind of go, I kind of go, gee, man, you have the...
Yeah.
But that was the way they talked, I guess.
Eddie Murphy is, I like him. Pryor's one of my favorites.
When I was young, I really liked, everybody seemed to like Eddie Murphy, and
yeah.
He was very good at what he did.
I like Pryor.
But now that I watch it, I don't care so much.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Mitch Hedberg,
he's another one of people I like. Well, my
it's cut short, unfortunately. I think he would have kept on going and writing those jokes that you want to write yourself.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing I think I like about Mitch Hedberg. Is like, I don't know if I'm the biggest fan, but whenever I heard the joke, I was like, that's such a smart joke.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'd be able to deliver it like he did.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
Bill Burr.
I love Bill Burr.
Yeah.
Those like me, like this. I hear some jokes. And I'm like, man, how do you think of that? You know what I mean? Like, how do you?
Oh yeah, well that's a sign of a good joke. I was very flattered a little while ago. One of the comics in town, when I did a joke and I got off stage, she said, I really like that joke, and she just didn't mean to flatter me. I don't think. She said, oh, I just wish I wrote that joke. And to me, that's the biggest comment you can give somebody when they say, I wish I wrote that or thought of that. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is. Because, you can't... when as an audience member, when you can't follow the route back to the origin of how you thought of it, it's just that's a great joke. Because how do you think of something like this? That's, how does that pop in your mind? And how do you
just write jokes. Stop thinking about other people's jokes. Just write your own. I think that's a trick. I find it works for me. Stop trying. I'm not writing like anybody else. I do this as a musician too, right? Try not to write like anybody else. Try not to listen to other comics while you're trying to write.
Yeah.
Because it's only going to cloud your head. You're going to steal somebody's bit. Write your own stuff. Write your own experiences. Write jokes how you write jokes. I'm not going to try to be Mitch Hedberg because I'm not Mitch Hedberg. I'm not.
Yeah. Well,
I'm alive. Breathing air.
It took a dark turn.
It was pretty dark. Sorry. For any of the fans out there, I apologize. But he probably would have liked that joke.
That's kind of like, that kind of forms a callback to our talk. We're like, Louis C.K. kind of said to Dane.
He's with Ghost Rider.
Louis C.K. kind of said to that, in that episode with Dane Cook, basically said, maybe you heard my bit, and you just accidentally absorbed it. Like Robin Williams. He's known to do that a lot. I am not a Robin Williams fan. No, I'm not either. No, I am not at all. Like I maybe had something in the past I don't know about, but I saw his newer one that he did a few years back or whatever, within 10 years, and he just felt like a creepy old uncle that was telling dirty jokes. That's what it felt like to me. That's what it felt like to me, and I didn't like it. Like I was just like. I felt embarrassed. I didn't know what to explain when I was watching it, and I just didn't like it. I'm sorry, Robin, but you did fine in your career. His stuff is improv. Did you know that? It's all just off the top of his head. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, but he's gotten a lot of flack for I guess stealing, like accidentally, kind of like he's basically known for absorbing. You seem to know a lot about this. Who steals? Who are the stealers of comedy? No, I'm a big comedy nerd. I know a lot. Yeah, but that's cool. But, he's known for, absorbing material. Like, he'll hear something and just, everyone does that, right? You hear something cool, and, when you go to rate something, you think of it as, did I think of that? I'm really careful not to steal bits. Somebody said to me the other while ago, they said, who wrote that joke? I said, I wrote that joke. They said, no, you didn't. I said, yes, I did. Well, it's all don't go saying I didn't write something. And if you're saying I didn't write it, tell me who wrote it. And then I'll go find out. And if they did, I must have absorbed it somehow. Yeah. Or... never heard it, wrote a joke similar to it. So there has to be leniency there, too, sometimes. Well, it's all been done, right? So obviously... It's all been done. What are you going to... Yeah, exactly. Getting back to, making dick jokes, right? Yeah. It's all been... Woo-hoo-hoo. It's all been deen done. But it's been nice. That's a good song. It is. But... so obviously, eventually, someone is going to step on someone's toes. You know what I mean? Because, every topic has been spoke about. You just got to take and put your flavor on it. That's why I do, most of my stuff is just personal stuff that's happened to me, because I know it can't be copied. Who was the comic that got in a lot of trouble for stealing someone's act? Carlos Mencia. Yeah. Now, did he steal? Yeah. He did. Yeah. He did. Yeah, he's gone. You don't even hear from him. I think he died or something. You don't hear from him at all anymore. He dropped out. And he made a lot of money, too, or got real big on someone else. For a very short amount of time, he was huge. Oh, my. Who else? He stole a lot of stuff. He's the biggest one in the recent years. Do you know who Steve Byrne is? Steve Byrne. No. I'll have a picture. Maybe you recognize it. Okay, maybe. All right, just Google time again. Yeah, I need a Google song. I don't know if it's the same one I did last time. Oh, I do. Really? He's a thief. He doesn't look like a thief. No, he's not a thief. No, he's not a thief. He's Asian. But, no, Dane Cook at one point called Steve. Dane just passing on. Like, well, that guy stole my stuff. So no, yeah, he calls Steve up and accused. And this was a big thing. This is you know Mark Maron. Pull a picture. I think so. Yeah. Oh shit. There he is. Nope. No, wait, I do. Was he on, is he still, he's still a comedian, right? Yeah. Was he on, At Midnight a little while ago, maybe? Yeah. Yeah, I think so. He was very funny. He's been on Louis' show. Yes, I've seen him. He was very funny on At Midnight the last time I saw him. He is a funny guy. At Midnight is a great show. I'm going to plug that right now. At Midnight. Comedy Central. Watch Comedy Central. Well, I think it's not Comedy Central in Canada, is it? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Comedy Network. Comedy Network. Yeah, whatever. 47 show, whatever it is. Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah. But he has a podcast called the WTF Podcast, and he had Dane on it, and Dane was, they're talking about it. It became a big thing. Dane Cook called Steve Byrne and accused Steve of stealing his essence.
His essence? Was it a joke?
No.
They were just joking around?
No,
because I would have laughed if he called me out. No. I was like, your essence? You mean like you're like a clone, or like
what? Your essence, like the way he presents himself on stage. He was saying, Dane Cook was saying that Steve was basically like stealing his mannerisms and his.
And are they alike?
No, I didn't notice anything, but like
Lord.
Steve leaked it, and like apparently like you had a conversation, like Dane invited Steve over his house, and they had like a 2-hour conversation about it, and Dane got pretty pissed that Steve leaked whatever, and then it became a big thing. Like a big Dane and Mark Maron had a big conversation about it on Mark's podcast, and that put Dane back in the doghouse again with the comedy scene.
Yeah, he is in the doghouse, isn't he?
Yeah, his essence. I mean, I like Dane Cook, but really, his essence.
That guy's got to grow up, have some kids or something.
He's 42, man.
He's not making mortgage jokes.
He's not stealing your essence. How do you steal someone's essence?
Yeah, what are
you doing to steal his essence?
It's hilarious.
Like, he moves his hand.
He called him too, eh? He's like, look, I'm going to talk about something.
Yeah.
Like, what is it, Dane? Well, lately I've been thinking, hey, you're stealing my essence.
I don't appreciate it.
Yeah, I don't appreciate that very much, So I don't think we should hang out anymore.
Well, because they're both. I think Steve at this time was in L.A. That's where Dane lives. Like the Laugh Factory is his club. He considers. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so he's basically saying that telling Steve to
his playground.
Yeah, well, he's telling Steve that you're in. You probably need to move. Like you're in. This is my piece of what I have.
He hasn't grown up. We figured out.
That was a couple of years ago.
No, we figured out what the problem is with that guy. Yeah. He didn't really grow up.
Well, I mean, people stealing his essence, Greg. That's a pretty serious
Well,
offense.
I suppose, yeah. When someone steals your essence, you never grow up.
Exactly.
I heard that's what happened to Peter Pan.
I was about to say that. Yeah, it's Peter Pan. Yeah. What's the word?
Essenceless.
No, I can't remember the word.
Yeah, I didn't think that was
Peter
the word.
Pan something. Conundrum? No, it's not a conundrum. I don't know. I'll come back if I forget it, if I remember it.
Okay.
Whatever. That was just a dead stop in the thing. But yes, he stole his essence, and that was it. So Dane's been around. He got in his voice. Man, I don't know. I heard a bit recently that he did. You don't really hear a lot from him anymore. But he's in a club, and he's basically saying that the joke wasn't even funny. But he did this joke about how every comedian hates him. Like he did this on stage as a joke, and how he's like, they all hate me because, I've had a lot of success. I'm very successful. I'm rich.
Well, because he did movies.
I know, but he's saying this on stage, like very seriously, and you can tell that he 100% that's how he views himself. It is very rich. I'm rich. I'm awesome. And so all these comedians hate me. Like the joke was, he was like, "What the hell? That's not even funny."
Well, how are you going to get people to like you when you're
arrogant,
flaunting your riches?
Well, and plus, I mean, I think comedy is all about humility. So if you can't,
am I wrong that? Sorry, you can finish your sentence there. I apologize. I cut you off.
I was going to say, if the audience can put you on, if they think you're on their level, I think it's way easier to make them laugh.
Is it fair to say that, I believe I read that, comics started to originally dislike him? I can't believe we're talking about Dane Cook again.
Call back.
But did they originally dislike him because he used to come in and, take time from other comics when they were... Because that guy could kind of, come in and... Get on stage whenever he wanted, right?
I think they originally
didn't
like him because he just rose too quickly. Like, a lot of comics didn't feel like he paid his dues.
You can't be that way. I mean, I'm not saying that some of these comics that might hate him are that you wouldn't dislike them either.
Well, I mean, because you do a lot, you act, you play music and comedy and stuff.
I have watched many people surpass me constantly.
No,
different fields, music, acting, comedy.
If you could make it,
you did beat me out in a competition. Remember?
I did,
and I could be very bitter about that, but I'm not because
I didn't win.
Well, but see what I'm saying is I could have looked at you as a young guy. What and I've been this and that forever, but I'm on your podcast.
Well, I lost, Greg. I didn't win either, but whatever.
We'll be losers together.
But if you could make it in one area, what would it be?
If I couldn't make it,
if you could make it, like if someone said, "Hey, Greg, I like you're doing good stuff in acting, music, and comedy, but we can make you famous in one."
I think acting would make me famous because there's more money to be made there. I love stand-up; it's my new passion. My original passion was music, but I'm not going to make no money at music.
But someone said, "We will make you famous." You pick one. Like they would make you no doubt they'd make you famous.
No, I don't even know if I care about being famous anymore.
Well, money. They'd make you, they'd make you successful.
So my kids are took care of and whatever.
Yeah.
I had to pick one. Well, right now I guess I would have to say stand-up because I enjoy it so much. I like making people laugh. But what do I find challenging? Acting, because that's a good day's work. Like it's great to become something else, and I work very hard at what I do. I can sit back sometimes and say I don't feel like I get the credit that I deserve for it, and I have in my mind. I don't really talk about it a lot.
Yeah.
But I also just work at it. I just keep working and working, and I hope that someday I'll get a bigger break. I've had some breaks though. I mean, I have a house. I have 2 kids. I have the van,
I'm
wife.
a soccer mom.
Well, exactly, right? But I have these things, and I made that living as an entertainer. Now, nobody knows who I am, really. Some people do, but some people don't. But I figured out how to make this area, Newfoundland, work for me. So I did that.
Would you move?
Yeah, if the work was right. If I got offered, like, someone said, you come to Toronto or LA or New York, and we'll, you got a job when you're there, sure. But right now I have a house. And the backyard needs to be done, and I'm just worried about making money right now.
Well, I guess it's harder for you, too, because you have a family, right?
I'm not going to pick my family up and bring them to Toronto so I can try to be a star.
Yeah.
That's selfish.
But someone, I guess, yeah. I mean, it's much easier for someone like me with no kids, wife.
You should go if you want. If you want it, go.
When I graduate, I'm going. I'm going to Boston. I'm not going to Toronto.
Why Boston?
Because I've been to Boston a couple times. It's a great city, and the comedy scene down there is...
There's a good comedy scene in Boston?
Phenomenal.
Really?
Yeah. You know how many... here's some big comics came out of Boston. Dane Cook, Bill Burr.
Stop talking about Dane Cook.
Bill Burr.
Yeah, Bill Burr.
Louis C.K., Jay Leno, Dennis O'Leary.
Now, where are they now?
John Pinette.
They're in
John
New York.
Pinette's dead. Yeah, but they all started in Boston.
Yeah. Okay.
They're all from and started in Boston, and then when they got bigger, they moved to New York or L.A.
Yeah. Well, that's because you have to.
Yeah.
So, yes, I guess I would move if I got bigger. But nobody's asking me. And I don't really know how to get there.
Do you have a manager or anything?
No, because they're useless in New. There are none, really. There's a couple agents, really one, in town, one company that you can get work for. But a lot of it's like out of Newfoundland, corporate stuff that you're going to get. I book my own shows. I'm my own entity.
Well, I mean...
So if you want to book Greg King as anything...
Contact Greg King.
Contact Greg King at thegregking.com. You'll find my... email, Twitter, phone number, social insurance number.
Why do you have to
get it all on there?
Why do you have the in front of your name?
Because I'm the Greg King. I'm not a Greg King.
You're the guy.
Yeah, I'm the Greg King because there's a few of us out there. There's a Greg King band.
Band?
Yeah, there's a band.
Locally?
No, I don't think they're that. But anybody can be a band these days. He got the domain name or whatever.
Yeah.
There's Greg King, the wrestler.
Oh?
Yeah, there's a wrestler. He goes by Greg King. I don't know why. When you could be like Wolfman or something cool.
Something manly.
Yeah.
Something manly, Greg.
Yeah, like Wolfman. Yeah. Was my comical name was going to be Wolfman, but I don't know.
Are you doing anything now? Do you have anything to plug? Are you doing anything?
I'm recording an album this week. My first album, actually. You can go online, and if you look up Phobics, Phobics, you put Newfoundland in there too if you're going to Google it, or Greg King. You'll find my old band, so you can download some music. But I'm recording an album under my own name. It's a lot different than the Phobics, because Phobics was like a 90s influence kind of a band. So I'm doing that just to get it out of the way, because it needs to be on. It's probably going to be a full length, 10 songs or whatever. But I start that this week. I started a while ago, but I'm really starting up again this week and going to get a lot done this month. I'm in the competition with you, stand up.
Yeah,
I'm at Yucks in August. I do corporate stuff too, guys. Seriously. I might have a short film that's coming out soon. Hopefully that gets released soon. I don't know, man. I'm always just getting work here and there.
That's the stand-up thing, man.
You can see me around town playing music in clubs, guys. Like
begging for money on Water Street.
Yeah, exactly.
But that stand-up thing, man, that's a nerve-wracking thing, hey?
I started doing it because I literally looked at my wife and didn't know where my entertaining career was going. And I'd been in a comedy troupe that had some somewhat small success out of Newfoundland and stuff too. And I was with them for 8 years, and everything fell apart. And I wasn't working in the festival that I used to do theater in, and I left that, and theater's dying anyway, and that makes me sad because you can't get jobs like you used to when I first started acting. And I didn't know what to do anything anymore. And I looked at my wife and I said, I think I got to do stand-up. And she laughed at me.
Why stand-up?
She's like, because I knew that it was like, one, it makes people laughing.
Yeah.
Two, I don't need to show up with anything. I didn't have to bring any gear. I didn't have to lug speakers. I didn't have to bring costumes. I didn't have to audition.
Well, it's booming. This is a good period for stand-up.
They'd hand me the microphone. And I was selling myself. Yeah. Greg King. Whereas before I was in a band. And before that I was a character in a play.
Or in a troupe.
And it wasn't me. So I was like, this is what I got to do. So I did it. 3 years later, or more than that now, 4 years or whatever. I'm getting hired. I'm a professional comic. And if I'm going to do a gig, chances are I'm going to say, well, you got to pay me. Yeah. Because I'm that good. And that's the way you got to kind of approach the business a lot of the times. Because it's a business. I'm not making Dane Cook money, but, I am getting paid to do stand-up now, and that's where I wanted to go, and it was the best move I made because a lot of people in St. John's, Newfoundland, or Newfoundland in general, are considering me for jobs or seeing that as something else that I offer, and really upped.
Well, that's sad, too, because, when you're doing stand-up and you're using your real name, if people like you, a lot of times they'll search you up and look at other stuff you
exactly.
do.
Exactly. And you go to my website, thegregking.com, you'll see examples of things I've done, a documentary I did years ago, samples of my music that I did.
You narrated Comedy in the City?
Yeah, a show on Rogers Television. I was the host of that. I still am. There will be another season.
Is there?
It's been recorded. It just took a while to get out there.
Who runs it now?
Comedy in the City?
Yeah.
Myself and Perry Cooper were involved.
Oh, Perry does it too?
Yeah.
Okay, because Gracie passed away.
Yes, Gracie did pass away. And the show will be different, as in, originally I think we went in with it with the same idea that we were going to kind of like do it the same way that she had wanted, but the show is going to change a bit. It's still going to be about local comics, but there may be less interviews and more like sections of comedy, like quick sections, bits of different comedic acts. I'm not sure yet. The show's a little bit in limbo, but hopefully it will continue to move forward. The first one was years ago.
Yeah. Well, I taped that when I was 18. That was 3 years ago. I taped it.
That was 3 years ago.
Then it took a year to get out.
Now it took a year to get out, so it's been in rotation now on Rogers for
years.
Yeah.
My nanny, I see you on Rogers. You're talking on that Rogers cable, right? About dancing. Oh, that dancing, eh? Nan, I'm your grandson. You can just come up to the house and see
your
me.
Your nan sounds a lot like the guy with the hat.
Yeah, they're the same people. Same person. He morphed. He morphed. She was a man at one point. But no, it's a good show. It really... does that go out of province?
No, I don't think so. If it does, I don't think so. If it has, it's seldom.
It's very limited, hey? Because you can't see it unless you have Rogers.
Well, that's how they get you to watch Rogers, right?
Yeah. Well, people that already have Bell or Lion or whatever, they can't even catch you on the tube.
Yeah.
It's like, I was on TV. They're a very selected amount of people.
A lot of people did see it, though. A lot of people recognize me from it.
Oh, yeah?
It blows my mind sometimes. I've done so much. It reminds me, actually, it was funny how people remember you, right? And you can't get, and you can't get in your head too much when it comes to business, like the business, entertainment industry. Yeah. Take it from me. I've been at it 15 years, right? This guy goes to me one day. He's like, I know you from somewhere, right? And I'm like, I said, well, I'm an entertainer. I've done a lot of things. And I said, I'm a stand-up comic. He's like, I don't like stand-up. I was like, oh, okay. Well, musician, play downtown a lot. He said, I don't go downtown. I was like, oh, okay. I'm an actor. I've done a lot of plays. And he said, Nick, no. Everything I said, no. And it got kind of awkward and quiet. And after a few minutes of nothing really being said, well, maybe more like a minute, felt like minutes, but it was like a few seconds.
Yeah.
He goes, you used to clean a building downtown 10 years ago. I was like, yep.
That was me.
It was me. So it's how people remember.
Is that recent?
About a year ago or so. So, but God, like, tomorrow I could have to take a job somewhere that I don't necessarily want to do, but you got to pay your bills.
Do you have a day job? No,
I'm pretty much an entertainer full time.
Well, that's good.
I do some kind of, like, I do standardized patient work with Memorial University, and I'll take contractual jobs if I have to, doing whatever.
Yeah.
I used to work on a farm.
Oh yeah,
did that for a while. So like I said, I've had a job when I need jobs. I worked in a kitchen before, worked in a restaurant. I've done everything, but me and my wife, who are both in that field, we figured out how to make it work. I teach too. I teach drama camps.
Oh, your wife's an entertainer too?
No, my wife is a sewing instructor and a seamstress.
Oh, okay.
She takes contractual work, makes dresses for people, things like that. So between the two of us, we have a lot of different skills. So I DJ too. I do that every once in a while.
Oh, do you? You DJ?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Do you throw a bit of comedy there?
No. I'm typically DJ. I'm not DJ in the clubs. I can't stay out till 3 o'clock in the morning taking ecstasy and stuff. I that's not really what I do. But I do weddings. I will do weddings. Or, like, parties or whatever. And I'll MC. So this is where a lot of people will hire me as a comic. I'm not really having to do my material. I'm just a guy who's comfortable on the microphone, who makes a few jokes and spins the beats.
I don't get, man, like you just said, the guy you're just talking to, he said he don't like stand-up. And I know a couple people like that, too. I'll see my watch. I know a couple people like that, too, that say, oh, no, I don't. Like, how do you not... Because I always go, like, how do you not... Do you not like to laugh?
They don't like to laugh. Yeah, they don't.
Like, who doesn't like to laugh? I always thought, like, comedy was a universal, like, who doesn't like to make you feel good? Who doesn't like to laugh?
I just assume they don't get it.
I guess, but
the brain doesn't get a joke.
There's so many comics.
Because it takes intelligence to get a joke.
But there's a lot of stupid comedy out there. Like there's so much comedy out there.
Yeah, the good stuff. The people who don't like the good stuff. Like I can say, oh, I don't like that comic because they're too vulgar.
Yeah, like
it takes away from the joke, or it's just not that funny, or I'm not that race, so I don't get it. Because those jokes exist too, right? There's movies out there that are designed for particular people, and I'm like, I have no idea. Much like a Newfoundland joke don't work on a certain level for somebody because they're like, I don't know anything about Newfoundland.
Yeah.
You know, but some people just don't get jokes. Jokes, in order to get a joke, in order to write a joke, you got to be intelligent. In order to get a joke, you have to be intelligent.
Yeah,
some people just don't get it.
I don't get how they don't get it. Like, it's just like, how do you not like stand? Like, because I met something like that kind of recently, and they're like,
so you don't like music. I don't understand that.
I know, yeah.
What do you like? Yeah, I can understand you saying I don't like heavy music, or I'm not a big fan of jazz, or whatever. But how do you not like
music?
Music,
whole thing,
4/4 time.
Yeah,
people sitting around singing beautifully.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, I get.
Oh God, get me out of here!
It's making me feel fuzzy inside.
I know. It's gross.
Like, I can get if someone doesn't like. Maybe like a genre of comedy or music, but like to not like the thing as a whole. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like any comedy or music. It's like, how do you know? Why do you live? What do you do? What do you listen to?
I also don't know what it's like to be somebody else. I've said this before to somebody. I was like, I think about colorblind, for example, or colors in general, right? Like these walls that we're in here right now are yellow, but I don't know how yellow those walls are to you. Like we can both agree that the wall is yellow, right?
Yeah.
But maybe that's a brighter yellow to you, and maybe it's darker to me. I don't know.
It's a vivid yellow. It's a vivid yellow.
Yeah.
That one's orange, though, behind you.
Yes, it is. Yeah, exactly. But you see where I'm going with that, right?
Yeah. You perceive.
I don't know what it's like to be inside your body. And that ends hump night.
You can find out, Greg. Hump day.
Hump day,
hump night.
Oh, it's a whole day now, is it?
Hump.
Well, that's... yeah, wow.
I'm going to end on that,
actually. A whole day.
This is going to end on you questioning what's it like to be inside me.
That could take all day.
Just, man, if you skipped and you're listening to this part right now, go back a little bit. Like, just listen to what just happened. That's worth the hour of listening just to hear that. Yeah. I don't know what it's like to be inside of you.
And that ends up. I don't like this podcast. And or this is the podcast for me.
Week. Yeah, I love Hump.
I love Hump.
Do you know what's called Hump Day? I don't know. Wednesday, because I guess middle of the week.
Middle of the week. Yeah, it's like going up over a hill, I think, and then the hump, and you go down the hump. That's what I thought. Yeah. A lot of people are just pervy, and they think it means like that's when you're doing it and stuff.
Wednesday's best. Dude, she's not ovulating on Wednesdays.
Yeah. Like you just don't ovulate on when girls don't ovulate on Wednesday. So therefore,
impossible.
You can hump.
It's impossible. All right. Well, that's a podcast, guys. It's 21st, and hopefully I have a guest on next week. If I don't, it's just me by my lonesome, which is all right. You can still tune in. I'll be lonely. I'll be here. But thanks for listening. I'll see you guys next week.